What's up, everybody? Welcome to New World Sim Racing Pint Series 10, Round 6, the finale from Bathurst, a greasy Bathurst at that. I am Chris Troubles Turner, joined today by the man, the myth, the numbers nerd, Mr. Philip Whelpcakes Milwee. What's up, Whelp?
Hey Chris, how you doing?
I'm
How's
good, man.
everybody in chat doing? Man, a
Well,
moist Bathurst. This is gonna be a fun one, right?
uh, yeah, wet Bathurst, hopefully wet Bathurst. I mean, the rain is dying out in free practice, but we'll see what it looks like in qualifying and the race session.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting with these conditions. It is warm, and there was some rain. Track's starting to dry out a little bit. I think coupled with the heat and the track transition, I think temperatures are gonna be tough to manage in the tires, but we'll wait and see what everybody can do. But I think this is gonna be a fun little finale.
Yeah, we ran these same weather settings a couple seasons ago, and it had a really nice. It started wet, and then within like a lap or two, it dried out, and so everybody was scrambling for tires, and the people that went out on slicks to start the race benefited immensely. Tiago gifting a sub. Whelp cakes. Aw, what a guy.
Oh, thank you. Tiago, such a legend. He's my favorite bop tourist. I love it. I'm
Your
glad that you found the Honda, Tiago.
your favorite what? I'm sorry.
BOP tourist.
Oh,
He,
okay.
he said he's really loving the Honda now, and I'm like, you're a bop tourist.
Oh, you
But
drive whatever's in season.
yeah, but no, I feel like that car's. It's good that car, which actually we've only got what, one Honda in the field? No,
We
never mind.
have
I can't read.
at
Three.
least three.
Yeah, three Hondas in the field. Honda's getting its heyday, so it's kind of good to see that car finally get a moment in the sunshine. I think it's a little too strong, but I'm sure Kunos will flip the script on its head, and then all of a sudden everybody's going to be driving around in the AMG or some other weird car in the next half cycle. Who knows?
Well, the Honda was super strong, and then they nerfed it, and now it's strong again. So yeah, it's gonna be due for good killing.
Yeah, it's one of those cars that got a really weird buff in early on in the Intercontinental GT tracks when those cars came out. Kind of like how the Porsche is today on the Intercontinental GT tracks. Porsche is usually pretty strong on the Intercontinental tracks. I think the Porsche's like weakest Intercontinental track is in fact Bathurst. I think it's pretty dominant pretty much everywhere else, but um, I think it's still a good car to drive around here. So I think Porsche will be good competition. Also looking forward to seeing what people do in the M4 around here. Been driving that a lot lately.
Yeah, you've got Dylan Beveridge and Max Diggs, both really quick drivers in the M4. I know in the practice session, Dylan was up towards the top of the leaderboard. But here we are in qualifying, and it is not wet. It's not wet.
Yeah, not wet. Green track though, so tracked the times are going to be probably higher than most people are used to seeing on a green track. But with 21 cars turning laps around here, we'll get up to fast conditions pretty quick. Again, warm conditions. 29 minutes, 10 seconds qualifying. I think your red badges are heading out on track first.
Yeah, so the bronze drivers out there, I mean, there's only 5 of them, so I don't know how much rubber they're gonna lay down for the silvers because they only get 10 minutes. So you've got what,
It's
4
true.
laps maybe?
Yeah, that is true. That is something definitely that's going to play a factor here. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. It'll be a quicker track, at least for the gold drivers when they get out on track. Ryan Cody in the Fedgoni Industry Lexus.
And the Mafia car,
Which,
there might be a body in the trunk of that thing. Just don't ask.
don't ask.
Yeah.
Ask no questions. I'll tell you no lies. The Lexus, pretty quick car in a straight line. Bathurst has some good straights. Looks like Ryan's either backing out of it or brake boosting to try and get some temperature in the tires before he goes out on a fly.
Hello there.
Well, he's following up Joey Melitti going into the chase, so he might be trying to give some room there. And also warming up his brakes or trying to get some heat into the tires, like you said.
Yeah. Tires is definitely something that the Lexus has a bit of trouble managing, in my opinion. Max Diggs in the world famous M4.
Yeah, the pink and black. You love to see it. Do you
I need
want?
to actually,
Yep.
in my ACC app, turn off autopilot and just follow you around.
Here, I can share my screen so you can see what
And
I
that's
see.
even better.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Assuming it holds up. My Discord has a tendency to like to shit the bed, as they say in the industry. Um,
Well, if you want to dump it to the lowest number of frames per second,
oh,
like
I'm running
if
it
you
at
just
720, like 30 or something like that.
yeah, if you want to
It's
dump it to like the lowest quality settings, just so I can see what car you're on, I can watch the race from other angles.
well, yeah, it's gotten better since I got the new hardware, but it used to be really bad, like slideshow bad. So
So with Bathurst being uh, kind of the finale for this, you guys said you've run this circuit before with
yes,
these exact conditions.
yeah. So Paul pulled the weather conditions from because we typically if we're gonna run Bathurst, we're gonna do it at the end because we run a 90-minute finale, and making people drive Bathurst for an hour and a half is just fun. And so Paul went back and he found the settings that we'd used the last time we ran this, and he put them back in. Now I don't know if updates to ACC have changed the way that weather works since then. Could have,
I
but
think so.
but yeah, we got a little splash. We had some rain at the beginning, and all these guys have been practicing for rain this week. So if it does not rain, the Discord will be interesting to read.
Yes, yes, but I think the mixed conditions also could play in when this session moves forward to the race, because that's going to be 6 p.m. on a Sunday. It's going to be another pass of the weather sim, which I sometimes feel like is kind of just like a magic 8 ball that determines whether or not you're going to get rain. Um, but we'll see. Just looking at the times right now. We've got Ryan Cody laying down a 2:06 in the Lexus, which is a pretty good time
Yeah, immediately
in
pulls over
on a
and
green track.
goes back to the pit.
Maybe doing some setup work. Again, these guys have been practicing for wet weather. They did have a little bit of wet conditions in the server before we rolled into free practice. So it could be that he's a little bit off on his tires. I suspect Joey's probably a little off on his tires too, coming in 1.3 off the pace of Ryan Cody. Still waiting to see laps from Max or Brian Curzon.
Yeah, Max coming through the chase now on a valid one, so we'll see. I know Miller had a bit of a incident with the wall at the top of the mountain. So we'll see what Max puts in. He crosses the line with a 2:05.5, so...
Joey Melitti just went into the wall on the entrance to Skyline.
Oh, Joey.
So he's going to have to immediately pop back out of the pits and try and set another outlap before he can get a time lap in the books. Joey is under the gun to deliver. Kind of the same situation that Brian Curzon's in.
Oh, Brian is not qualifying.
Brian's straight up not qualifying, just noping right out of it.
If you know anything about Brian Curzon, he will not qualify. He'll start from the back, and he will just avoid the carnage and finish really well. Last season, he scored the most points in the Pint season that anybody has ever scored ever, just by staying clean and avoiding and finishing first.
That's a good strategy. I mean, he's got a way that he can play the field, and it's working until the rest of the field get wise to the game. Like I guess you just keep playing it. If they're not going to defend against it, just keep doing it.
Welp's too quiet. Is this better? Give us some nerd numbers, Welp.
Nerd numbers.
Yeah,
oh,
people are
man.
saying you're too quiet, so I'm playing with your
Yeah.
levels.
So I mean, the thing right now that I'm looking at as far as nerd numbers go is I'm looking at that 2:05.505 from Diggs. That's a second up on Ryan Cody. He's going to have to do some work to find the timeout on the track. Right now, it looks like the majority of the gains that Max has got is mostly in Sector 1, which is kind of surprising given that you've got that monster straight going up the mountain.
Yeah, he's
We'll see,
4 tenths up, so he's sitting at a 205.1 if he holds on to what he's got. Possibly a 205 flat. He is gaining on Ryan. I don't know if Ryan's going to try to leave space to David Miller ahead, but if he does, that could impact Max's, final corner. Let's hope not.
yeah, we're gonna see as he gets ready to go into Murray's corner. Doesn't push it all the way to the curb. There's a little bit of track out there that you can use to try and straighten the corner out as much as possible. Joey Melitti going through Murray's corner right now and punches in 2.7 off the pace. Still, I mean, still got a little bit of time.
A little bit of work to do. Yeah, David Miller, about 4 tenths off Joey. So there's a bit of a gap between 2 and 3 right now.
Yeah.
But that'll all close up once you have 21 cars trying to fit up the mountain.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that if we roll into the race session and we're getting some actual wet weather, qualifying order could have an impact into who's in front of you should they reckon when they're going up the mountain. But also, if you kind of play things safe, play things conservatively, and make the right tire choices, you might be able to right some wrongs that you might have set for yourself in qualifying.
All right, I think I've got your levels perfect.
Okay, all right. I mean, if you muted me, I would probably say that's perfect.
Well, now you've moved away from your microphone.
Did I move away?
It sounded like it, yeah. Well,
I'm sorry.
You were saying stuff, and then you're like, if you muted me, and I could hear the distance between your face and the microphone.
It's probably me just being dumb and just moving my head around in front of the microphone like I'm doing some sort of coordinated dance.
Well, I've got race control on my left-hand monitor, and my microphone is to the right of my setup. So every time I look over there to look at a time and say something, I'm looking away from my microphone.
Yeah.
But Jorgensen says less me, more you, so we'll just go with that.
Jan Jorgensen.
Jan Jorgensen, yeah. Take that, Jan.
Jan Yixer.
Ryan Cody comes to the final corner. He's a full second up on his lap. So putting down a 204, maybe.
No, I mean he may have improved his time, but he's still 4 tenths off Diggs. So he's got a ways to go. Melitti 1.2 now off of Diggs, and Dave Miller's just going to hold that 2.408 for his portion of the quali session.
They all crossed the line before the 20-minute mark, so they do get to do another one. Miller has called it quits and is going to go park it.
Yeah, because we're about to punch the
Silvers are headed out of the pit.
Yeah, Silvers are heading out on the pit, so we're moving right up the category ladder into Division 2, the silver category. Who all do we have in here? Who's the big name that you're looking for?
Regan. Regan in the Honda. I mean, the guy is a monster. He was up near the front last week at Imola until he got his top go 30 and then decided not to finish the race. But he might be classified wrong if we do, if he sticks with us for next season, because he will run with the gold guys.
Yeah, so the Honda strong around here. Let's see what Regan can do in that car. Ryan Cody now blasting down Conrad straight.
We've got
fastest part of the track.
Ryan, Max, and Joey. Although Max is 2.5 off of his time, and he's still valid, but yeah, 2 seconds off of his best time. Just driving it back to the pit now.
Ryan Cody going into the chase. Tricky corner complex for the Lexus because it's very oversteering on throttle. He might have a setup that's got it kind of nerfed in the back end a little bit, which was my nickname in college.
Nerfed in the back end. And Ryan is all about safety, I believe.
So
Joey...
He did improve. 2 tenths. Joey's bailing on it.
Yeah, Joey was up until he went through the chase, and then he lost it, so I think he's just going to bring it in.
Taking the gamer line into the pits, I see.
So the first one out of the pit is Joby in his, oh my god, highlighter white Lexus.
It's sponsored by Whiteout.
Yeah, basically.
That's a true story. You can ask Dick. Just be sure and email all of your comments and questions to, well, actually, just at Joseph Savage in the chat, or Joby Kenobi, and he'll get you sorted out with the contract information.
I think if you do !Savage in the Twitch chat, it'll give you his link if he's streaming. I'm not 100%.
Oh, he is streaming. He is 100% streaming.
Yeah.
You should totally ask him about what it's like to get sponsored by Tide. No, it's sponsored by Bic. They're the people that make Whiteout.
Well, Tide gets all the colors out, though.
Tide does get all the colors out.
Yeah, it could be bleached.
Could be bleached.
Good call. Good call. All right, there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
But as you can see, 0 sponsorships on his car, so he just he bought a bunch of white spray paint. And he just spray painted that car himself.
This is ridiculous. 17 minutes left in quali, and how is he looking at in terms of his sector times so far in comparison to his outlap? We won't have his sector 1 time for comparison, but we should be able to see if he's improving on his sector 2, sector 3s. So if he's positive on the Delta, he might be on a bit of a banger. We're gonna have to wait and see. Dylan Sauer in the Fezza around here, which is a brutal car to drive at Bathurst.
Yeah, he was in the Audi and wanted to switch last week to the Ferrari, and we hadn't pulled a new entry list, so he suffered through the Audi at Imola. And then, so we pulled a new entry list, and now he's in the Ferrari at Bathurst, so...
Man.
Yikes.
Braver man than me.
I mean... Good luck to him. He's quick no matter what he drives, from what I've seen, so...
Italian Trampolino. That car has the suspension of a pogo stick.
Jorgensen in the chat, Rari suspension here blows. I mean...
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're basically rolling D20 whenever you go through Skyline. Comes across the line, punches in 4th fastest. 0.865 off the pace. Joseph Savage to the top of the timesheet. There's Regan right behind, 3/10 off, 4/10 off, somewhere in there.
Regan with a 204.9, yeah, about 3/10 off. You can see Dylan Beveridge coming out of the pit behind Regan. Luis Castro just went around turn 1. He put it at a 205.4. That is not Luis Castro. This is Luis Castro. Hello, ACC cameraman? Thank you. He was just staring at turn 1, like what?
Dylan is saying in voice chat that what we're saying about the Ferrari suspension at Bathurst is BS. Well, I mean, you're in the car right now. I'm watching. You got 90 minutes to prove me wrong.
Yeah. What do they say? Nut up or shut up, or
I mean,
put your money where your mouth is, or something.
I am 100% like I am 100% okay with being wrong. It's just not often. Whoa, and Luis gonna park it, take it back to the pits.
I think he hit the wall in Hell Corner, so probably carrying a little bit of damage.
Michael Lukey in the other Honda.
Yeah, he in practice when it was raining was like, I hate this car, I hate this track. So hopefully, with it being dry, he's a little bit just a little bit happier.
Maybe. I mean, the drier conditions might help him out, and green track conditions and straight line speed of the Honda will definitely benefit him more than some of the other cars that are dependent on mechanical and aerodynamic downforce. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what his times look like when he comes across the line.
He's currently 7/10 up, which would put him possibly P2.
Yeah.
And he's gained a little bit of time.
Pole.
Yeah, gained a little bit of time there. And then
everybody is being so sensitive with the outside curbing. Like, you can totally push a little bit further out, get your right tires on the curb, try and straighten the corner as much as possible. Regan's in the pits.
Yeah, Lukey with a 204.6, and Regan right behind him with a 204 flat, and then immediately put it back into the pit.
Yeah, so Regan punching well above his weight in silver category.
Matt Artem in the American United Racing Audi. Screaming down the hill. Currently 5/10 up.
Another one of those cars that can be a little bit temperamental from a suspension perspective. But Artem is not messing around, man. He's throwing it into every corner, trying to use as much of the track as he can. Touches a little bit of the inside curve, pushes it out wide. Let's see where he ends up. Goes third fastest.
There you go. Not very far off Joby Savage.
Yep, a 204.620 knocking on the door with a provisional P2. Joseph Savage in Skyline now, going to take another shot at the mountain. See what he can do in the RCF. So we got 11 drivers that have posted times in.
He went deep into Forest Elbow. He lost 3/10 there. Just trying to keep it out of the wall. Because if he hits the wall now, he's got enough to do one more lap. But if he'd hit the wall there, he'd have been done. Dylan Beveridge, no time yet, so he's on a flyer now. Hope he can lock this one in.
Through the chase. Probably, I would say probably one of the cars with the strongest aero package for Bathurst. M4 is a real good car around here. Way deep in the chase and off. That is not going to set the time, but if he can get around, he's still got time to try another one. And that is just such a beautiful livery on that M4.
Yeah, his liveries are always great. His significant other does a lot of the artwork for that, and it's always for some sort of charity or something like that.
Yeah, he did the Whale Daydreams Racing stuff back in 949, and those are some really pretty cars.
Yeah. He had the infamous chicken car, which was the Falcon. But everybody called it the chicken car. We also have Mark Robeson that we have not talked about yet. In the Mercedes.
Yeah, he's using more of that exit curbing. Goes across the line second fastest, 3/10 off the pace with a 204.337. Looks like he is losing most of his time to Regan in sector 2.
Yeah, he's 3/10 off there.
So he's got to get it. He's got to get it together in the mountain section. Meanwhile, Regan is doing what the Honda does in sector 1 and 3 faster than pretty much any other manufacturer right now.
I don't know that I want to drive the Mercedes through the mountain section though.
I mean, it's such a weird car when it comes to the twisty bits in the mountain section. I'm kind of the mind that, like, if you can master the mountain section in the AMG, you are a very strong driver. That's why I don't drive it, because I'm not a very strong driver.
I drove it when I first started playing ACC, and it was a lot of fun. I did
it's
a lot of
old AMG though.
Yeah, that was the old one. Yeah.
Yeah. The gas guzzler. That car drank fuel like it was
Yeah, it's
like
one of the reasons
like
that we had, because we did an endurance series there for a while. It was the 2.5 hour races. We did them all solo. Yep. And we had to have a special rule about pit stops because of the Mercedes, because everybody else would one stop it, and the Mercedes couldn't make it.
Yep.
Kind
of like now with the current fuel bop. Fuel bop on longer races and stuff like that does not benefit certain cars. Like Porsche really tends to suffer because it tends to get fuel limited in a lot of tracks. I see you switch back over to Robeson's. He's on a flyer to close out the silver drivers out on track.
Yeah, he's flirting with pole right here. If he has a good final corner, which he does, he gained a 10th there, so he's going to take pole.
Yeah.
He's
letting it all hang out, and it pays off. 0.07 of a second between him and Regan. Now we're on board with Dylan Sauer in the Ferrari 488 GT3.
Yeah, the last of the silvers on a valid lap. He's half a second up, but he's being chased by the gold drivers.
He is, well, I mean, that's good enough reason to get a move on.
He's got Vulcan behind him, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that GTR makes up that much time in Conrad Straight, then
it's broken.
Heaven help anyone on track.
I mean, that's kind of the thought anyway, is heaven help anybody.
Being chased down by Vulcan.
Or trying to chase down Vulcan, yeah, or being chased down by him. Dylan
into the chase. Yes. Oh, gets a little too much of the inside curb, and the rear end steps out. Man, that Ferrari suspension proving to be super duper effective on those curbs. Am I right, Dylan?
Cost him 2/10. Through the final corner, he's gonna ride the curb on the exit.
He improves.
205 flat. There you go.
Yeah.
Ahead of the bronze drivers.
Volkenbachered in. The one, the only in the GTR.
Yeah.
Man.
He took
That's wild.
he took the challenge that was laid down to him, and he has delivered so far.
Yep.
Somebody
I
was
mean,
like, I dare you to
anybody.
drive the GTR, and he was like, all right.
I mean, anybody that was like daring Vulcan to drive the GTR, like he mained the GTR for like the longest time. Like I don't know of anybody else in ACC that has more time in this car than Vulcan. So it was kind of like
Haha,
you played
yeah,
yourself.
you played yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a trap.
Yep. Sad trombone for whoever proposed that challenge. But yeah, so Vulcan in the GTR going through the mountain section, through McPhillamy Park into Skyline, the most treacherous part of this track for a majority of these cars. The bumps and the curbing with downhill braking can be pretty dangerous. Hopefully lap 1 we, fingers crossed, have no shenanigans.
Yeah, I've touched many a curb coming down there, and the car just
Oof.
bounces, and then you're into a wall.
So the 64 Honda,
Yeah,
Jan.
let's not let's not go look at that.
Yeah, Jan puts it in the wall.
Unfortunate. So Vulcan's biggest competition so far this season, Marcus Murray in the slightly off-camber racing Honda.
Yeah.
He has been lightning quick, and hopefully he can do that again today in the Honda.
Yeah, so the Honda NSX, again, really strong. Lots of straight line speed. Going to be watching those Sector 1, Sector 3 times for the Honda to try and get an understanding of what's the strength deficit to the GTR in a straight line. Although Vulcan punches in with a 203.4 in green track conditions. Again, for the folks at home that don't know, we're on a green track after transitioning from wet weather. We got rain in 30, by the way.
Very nice.
Which, I mean, the session will be over, but that should give everyone at home, again, another indicator that the track is going to be in a state of flux.
Yeah, let's qualify in dry and race in the wet.
Yeah, and Vulcan with a 203.420. Got V12 punching in 300ths of a second off. Okay.
I just want to ride on board with him for a second because his car is so incredibly loud.
Yeah, Ferris is bringing out the. Oh, look at Carl Big with a 203.047.
All right, Carl, we see you.
Carl,
he's gonna.
He just pulls off. He's like, I'm done.
He might. Let's see.
Stop the count.
Is he gonna make an adjustment and come back out?
I don't know.
His car's up on jacks.
He's got 4 minutes and 48 seconds. He's still got. I'd say he's got about. Maybe 2 minutes to figure it out. He just dropped off jacks. We'll see if he takes another shot at it.
Got Ryan in chat rooting for Ferris. I think because Ryan doesn't want Ferris to be sitting in front of him all race, like he did at Donington. Because Ferris struggled so much in the V12 at Donington and ended up in front of Ryan Cody, and just drove really wide the whole time.
David Funk in the Audi, currently 1.5 seconds off the pace. Sprinkled in with those silver category drivers. Crazy Rabbits Racing.
Yeah, I expect him to make a big jump. He's currently half second up on his lap.
There's a fight in chat over who gets to enjoy Ferris. I don't know how I feel about this conversation. I thought this was a family show.
Listen, Ryan, I'm sure Ferris enjoys himself plenty. Yeah, Funk a full second up coming through the final corner. Takes it out wide up onto the curb. Up to P4.
Yep. See, using all that track in Murray's and Hell Corner, it's gonna pay dividends for you if you can keep it together.
And Marcus Murray is going to relieve him of P4.
So half second, a little more than a half second between Murray and Vulcan right now. But Carl Big making a statement, punching in 2/10 off Vulcan, who jumps to the top of the timesheets with a 2:02.797. So the track is starting to progress. Lots of rubber getting laid down between the first two categories out on track, and now the pro drivers kind of have the pick of the situation.
I'm interested to see where Jorgensen comes through. He's also in the Honda.
Yeah, Jorgensen needs to get a time down stat because the track is probably the best it's going to be for quali, the remainder of quali, and right now languishing down there in 17th, stuck with a bunch of silver and bronze drivers. He's going to try and see if he can find his way out of that mess into the final corner.
Yeah, he's valid now. He just needs to get something on the board.
Oh man, letting it all hang out. Jumps to 11th. That's something. That's better than 17th. So now he's got a little bit of time. Can try and take another swing.
He is followed up by Nico out in the Porsche. Very lime green with the pink lights at the front. Very nice.
Waiting to see what Nick can pull off here. Porsche aerodynamically is going to be the superior car on track, and when it comes to braking. So in Murray Corner, Hell Corner, Forest Elbow, the Chase, Porsche is going to be able to stand on it a lot later than most cars. The problem is it's going to sacrifice all those gains up and down the mountain when it hits those two big straights. It's going to feel like a toy car in comparison to the rest of the GT3 field.
Yeah, if anybody gets a good run out of a corner on you, there's not a whole lot you can do. What's up, Joby? Thank you for the excuse me, subscription 3 months in a row. The hat trick.
So we got Vulcan, Funk who jumps to second now. 0.215 takes P2 away from Carl Big. So we got Vulcan, Funk, Big, Ferris, Gixxer out on track.
So Carl is going to have one more shot.
Yeah, he does. He's only got one more corner to figure it out.
Well, he's going to cross the line, and I believe we have a long enough... Yeah, he's going to have one more lap to do it.
All right, into Hell Corner. See what he can do. Maximum tack.
Got that screaming V12 of Ferris right behind him.
Yeah, it's a fun car. Just got this game, and it's not really bad on controller. Just got to set settings to your preference. You are absolutely correct there, Ender Trilogy.
Yep.
We got a few people that were pretty quick on controllers that have participated in New World.
I mean, Nick Alvarado started on a mouse and keyboard.
Nick Alvarado started on mouse and keyboard, and then you've also got Sam Saniga.
Yeah.
Was a gamepad warrior.
Yeah, he was running top times on a controller. And then he got a wheel. Didn't Sam get a wheel recently?
Sam got a wheel, and now he's like one of the fastest drivers in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So max wait time, flying laps do count. That 2:02.642. Don't know if it's going to stand or not. David Funk is in the pits, 0.3 off of Vulcan Bakkerden. We got Carl Big, Mr. Blackout, 0.4 off. We're going to see what he can do. Ferris is out on track. Gixxer couldn't improve beyond 11th. Nick in the Porsche.
Carl's half second up, but he touched the wall on the exit of Forest Elbow.
Yeah, so he's probably going to bleed some time off Conrad Straight. He can't. There is still an opportunity. He could make up maybe some time in the chase. I don't really know if there's much time in Murray's Corner for him to figure out. I don't remember if Black Gold Saw still races on a controller. I know he did at one point. And yes, Alvarado is an alien.
Carl has picked up a 10th through the chase. One more corner to go, and he will snatch pole. Wide through the grass. He actually gained some time doing that as well.
Valid. All valid.
That's what matters. Here comes Ferris. They That's your grid. As Ferris goes and parks it in the access road.
Yep. Ferris just commits to destroying the car before qualifying. Hopefully, he doesn't get the engine exploding bug.
I mean,
Um,
it's fired up, so we should be good. Yeah,
oh
Carl.
yeah. What happens is you go into the start of the race on the formation lap, and then what it does is you start the car, and when you start moving forward, it over revs the engine and
Oh, that
explodes.
happened to Luis one time.
Yeah. If you if
Um,
you if you yeet the car into the wall, you have you have possibly problems.
so David Funk in the chat said Vulcan too fast, and then 2 messages later said Carl also too fast.
Yes. Yes.
That's yeah, confirmed.
Yeah, 202.412 in green track conditions. Now, the track was rubbering in. You could see that as the session went on, the tires were starting to work better for the gold drivers out there. They were starting to really put down some good times in green track conditions. We're gonna wait and see though. Race is about to start, and then
Ferris is gonna get himself DQ'd from qualifying. He also only has 2 lights that work.
I don't. I mean, I know Oklahoma's rough, but I counted 4. Um, they're Chris, but that's you and me. But anyway, what is that, Chris? We got some rain on the ground.
Yeah, looks like it.
What are we looking at for weather?
Greasy track, constant light rain for at
Yep.
least the next 30 minutes. But
Yep.
from what I understand, in greasy conditions, slicks are still the best.
Slicks are still the best, but the evolution of this track is going to throw a wrench into the works here. Like these guys are going to have to do some thinking. They're going to have to put on them thinking caps because it may be the case that slicks are what you want to be on, but maybe not for 30 minutes as the track continues to progress. Starts to dampen.
Well, most of them will probably be figuring for 45-minute stints, right?
Yeah,
Because you want to pit about halfway, but you also have to be ready to adjust in case the rain changes in the next 30 minutes to like adjust your fuel and put wet tires on if you need to.
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough for these guys. I'm very interested to see how this works out for them.
This is why they're all signed up. Like you don't want to
This is
race.
why they get paid the big bucks, right?
Well, you don't want to race, 20 degrees and sunny every time. That's boring. This is fun. Like
Yes.
there's some strategy involved. Like you're gonna have to be like everybody's surviving lap 1, being a greasy track, and the tires are gonna be cold. We don't use the widget, so hopefully Carl picks up the pace a little bit to try to get some heat in the tires. But it's gonna be interesting.
It is definitely going to be interesting. We're gonna wait and see how this all unfolds. Final round of the Pint series number 10. By the way, congratulations to you and the Pint crew
Thank you.
for getting 10 seasons in the books.
Well, we're not done.
Is nothing to shake a stick at.
We will be back January the 8th for Pint 2023 Season 1. Because I think if we just keep counting up, it's going to get a little like, hey, we're on Pint 37.
You mean you're not going to be like some of the other people and just give it like dumb names like this is Pint Series Black?
No. Pint Series Chartreuse. No, so we're going to have Pint 2023 Season 1 starting on January the 8th.
Okay.
I have proposed a schedule, I just sent it to you a little bit ago, but we're looking at 10 rounds with 2 drops.
Okay.
To try to, because the issue that we find with like the Pint series that we've been doing is we never had a drop round. So if you have a really bad race or if you have to miss a week or something like that, any chance of the championship is pretty much out the window. So if you throw a couple drop rounds in there, like, if your kid is sick and you can't race on a Sunday, or if your wife wants to go out or something like that, we have that built in. You can take the time off and still have the opportunity to fight for a championship win in your class. I have scheduled around. I went through the entire year, every Sunday. Anything that was like a holiday, like Mother's Day, we're not gonna race that Sunday. We will race on Father's Day because nobody cares. Um, but
Nobody
we're
cares about dads.
yeah, we'll have 3 weeks off in between each season, and the final season. So I think we get 3 full seasons, and then the last one will be a shorter. I think it's 6 or 7 weeks. Um, Around the Thanksgiving Christmas time. Yeah, Dave, 10 rounds. 10 rounds, 2 drops.
Now, that seems like a very fun arrangement you guys are working on for next season. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch.
I hope so. I mean, originally, Paul said he was kind of done, so people were like, oh no, it's the end of the Pint series. And then we've had a lot of people, I mean, we've got 21 here today, that are like, no, we got to keep going. Like, I want to keep doing this. And we've got guys coming in like Vulcan, and I heard there's rumors that Sakame is going to be in here next season because he's getting his rig put back together.
Yep.
And he just got a direct drive, so look out.
I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
They are getting ready to round the final corner. As we get ready to go green here, 90 minutes of Bathurst. Pine Series round 10, Chris.
Let's go, boys. I just hope everybody survives. Like, we got a pretty good gap between the top 9 or so. Joby's left a lot of space. Artem has kind of dropped back a little bit. Hopefully Ferris gave a good briefing.
Here we go.
Inside through turn 1. Just looking for yellow flags. 2x2. Everybody is cleared turn 1. That's the easy one.
Yeah, mountain section, the cutting is definitely going to be one to watch. I'm actually going to, in my game, I'm actually going to zoom out a lot on the mountain to see if I can.
Carl pushed a little wide onto that curb. He is going to concede P1 to Vulcan. We've got a lot of people changing positions in the uphill as they slot into a single file.
It's looking really clean.
All good so far.
Really clean. McPhillamy Park is going to be where we're going to find out. We do have a Lexus that did go into the wall on the exit of
that's Joby.
Park.
He is slow and giving up some positions.
Yeah, these faster cars behind are going to have to find the right time to make a move around him. Although it does seem like he's back up to speed.
Yeah, we got Wallace having a look at Nick Kohout in his Road Beast AMR. As we trickle down the mountain.
Through the S's and into Forest Elbow for the first time. Just a nice line of cars. Doesn't really see a lot of drama on lap 1. Now it's time to see if Vulcan's going to stretch the legs on that GTR and see from a straight line speed difference, what does the AMG have up its sleeve? It seems like Carl's keeping him in touch.
Yeah, Vulcan got a really good run. Carl right behind. Ferris in the V12. See if he can keep up with these guys. He's got Funk behind. Murray has gotten by David Funk, so I think Funk went a little deep into the chase. So Murray is through. A little further back, we got Luis on Ryan Cody. Luis gonna try to go up the inside into the final corner. Ryan left him plenty of space.
Now it's a drag race down towards Hell Corner. The inside line for Luis is going to be a big advantage for him, but Ryan could try and pinch him off a little bit.
Yep,
try and compromise his exit. Doesn't do enough. Now he's under fire from Dylan Beveridge.
Now we have a position change for P2. Bears caught Carl on the straight. Carl's going to keep P2.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what happened there. It looks like Carl was really glued to the rear end of Vulcan when they were getting ready to enter into Hell Corner. I wonder if kind of a similar situation to what we just saw with Ryan Cody and it wasn't Dylan that he was trying to pinch.
It was Luis Castro.
Oh, Luis Castro, yeah. Might have been kind of a similar situation.
We got some Honda boys together. We got Regan tucked in behind Michael Lukey. They're trying to chase down Mark Robeson. So Regan lost a couple positions from the start because he was further up, if I recall.
Oh, and Dylan Sauer in the
no.
488 in the wall on the exit of the S's.
Still pointed the right direction.
Yep. That car does have some compromise.
Oh,
there
that's
for sure.
Stephen
and
Wallace.
Oh, no. And they're trying to slow
Oh,
down.
boys,
It's
get
just
it
they
shut down.
They just couldn't slow down enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Stephen Wallace, I believe, was sideways.
So we, unfortunately, going to have a little bit of damage early on in this race, but not sure how many people. Oh, Ryan Cody took the brunt of that. He just.
Oh, Regan is also. Oh, Regan is off in the grass along with Max Diggs. Oh, Regan just lost it coming down the hill. Just Honda things.
Yep. You catch too much of that inside curb on the bump.
And then Max Diggs. What happened to Max?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was a rejoin or what, or if there was a lockup and he lost the rear end. Not sure. Max is going to keep it out on track. So is Ryan Cody. Ryan Cody in the Fedgoni.
Yeah,
Lexus.
Ryan has picked up some damage from that as well.
Yeah, he's got Pac-Man hood going up the mountain now. That's going to be a little bit more aerodynamic drag than he wants to carry on the straight.
Artem's going to squeeze it up the inside on Joby.
That was a good move from,
I mean, yeah, Artem, one of the hardest racers that I've seen. Like, he gives everything 100% every time, but he is fair about how he does it. I've enjoyed watching him evolve through the Pint seasons. Dylan Sauer is yellow flagged again. He is parked in Hell Corner. And
he's in the cutting. He's in the entry to the cutting. That is a big unfortunate situation right there. I wonder if he had a little bit of snap on the kink. Not entirely sure what happened there. I think he just RTG'd to the garage.
Oh, my race control has just died.
Yeah, it does look like it died.
That's not good.
Fastest lap right now, Vulcan Bakkerdin with a 206. Oh, Dylan Beveridge in the Xerxes Society Liminal Fish M4 into the wall on the exit of Skyline. Got a lot of damage on that M4 now he's going to have to deal with. Cars moving through the field around him. And, yeah, try and get that thing back to the pits, buddy, and see if you can slap a coat of paint on it. Make it a little less dramatic. I don't know. He might have parked it. I see a car stopped on the exit of Forest Elbow.
Hang on. I gotta get this put into here.
You're good, sir. I'm just watching. I'm just watching along. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Vulcan Bakkerdin pulling a 2.221 second gap on Carl Big. Greasy conditions. The rain is still falling, and it's going to be falling for the next 30 minutes. We've got 29 degrees on track, 27 degrees ambient temperature. Tires will be getting colder as the rain continues to fall. Kind of curious if anybody is running wets or dries. I'm actually going to take that opportunity, since I mentioned it, and start rolling around and taking a look at people's HUDs. And see if I can find out. Looks like, where is Mr. Bakkerdin? Bakkerdin's on dries. Carl Big's on dries. Carl Big has dropped back another almost half second. Barris is on dries. I'm going to start looking to see if I can find anybody on wets. All right, so first car on wets we got is P17, and that is Mr. Brian Curzon. So is that the big brain play? M4 of Dylan Beveridge in the pits, currently P20, and it looks like we might have lost the 488 of Dylan Sauer.
Yeah, Dylan parked it, I believe.
That is unfortunate. All jokes aside about the Ferrari suspension around Bathurst, don't want to see anybody have to drop this race, especially in the 488, because it is a fun car. After watching the 949 boys try and run that thing in the SRO endurance season, I'm just convinced that suspension is cursed. Oh, AMG just went off at the chase. You might want to go take a look at that. I think that was Robeson.
I would love to, but I have no race control is not working.
Nah, that's fine. Oh, and here goes Joseph Savage. Oh, I know what's happening. We're hitting that transition point where this thing's going to go from greasy to damp, and the dry tires are going to start becoming like ice skates.
What is even going on?
Oh, and Joby's in the wall at Murray Corner. Could not even get the car to stop. That is really unfortunate for Joby. Huge slam into the wall at Murray's Corner. That's wild. He definitely has some side damage. I don't know what we're looking at in terms of actual lost lap times. We're just going to have to wait and see what Joby can do. Currently sitting 5th in silver category. Vulcan in the lead, 3.5 seconds up on Carl Big. Kind of curious what Vulcan did in terms of tire strategy, because he's running on dries and seems to be putting in good laps.
Can you share your stream on Discord?
Can I share the screen on Discord? I will give that a shot, sir. Give me one moment.
Okay.
Let's go with. Let's give that a shot. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull up my window. I think I was following along with your stream as best I could. So hopefully I wasn't talking about stuff off camera that people couldn't see.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on.
I mean, you could just leave your stream up without race control and your window up, and I can continue to call the race from there.
Yeah, but like I'm not changing cars. It's automatically switching cars. Like I have no control over what's going on right now.
Your autopilot is completely borked. Oh, that's.
Well, I don't have autopilot. I don't know what is.
Oh, interesting.
Because we use a separate app called Race Control.
Yeah. And so I use autopilot in the broadcast app. Looking at Robeson, looks like Robeson did have that off at the chase, but the car seems to be looking okay. Like I don't see a lot of damage on it. Maybe he was able to keep it from getting wrecked. But yeah. So right now sitting in 8th. Robeson in the 199 currently. What are we looking at? Let's see. I'm gonna actually pull up the pit wall standings real quick. That's gonna be easier for me to read. Robeson last lap was a 2.8742, so the wet weather is starting to have an effect on him, but Vulcan Bachman is still pushing in better than 207. It's a 206.932 last lap for Vulcan. That is still pretty quick on wet weather tires, especially when it's starting to affect people. Right now, what I'm looking at, I'm trying to find out when is Brian Curzon's wet weather tires going to start paying off. Because right now, last lap was a 212, 220.
Brian's on wets? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's on wets.
Oh no.
Real. For real. Those things have to be tomatoes right now.
Brian, why?
Well, no, he's probably thinking that, man, it's going to be raining for the next 30 minutes. It's going to start coming down like cats and dogs. And he showed up at the pound, and all the pets have been adopted. It's just not working out for him. So, yeah, on board with Mr. Robeson in the 199 AMG. He's keeping it together as he goes down the mountain.
I don't know what the buttons are to change cars.
Oh, it's so if you hold down shift and go left and right, that will cycle you through the different cars.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you're good to go. Like you can use the shift keys. We can do this old school. We can do this like first gen ACC broadcast without the broadcast.
What's the button to get to the broadcast view? Because right now I'm on like.
So just punch F2. It'll cycle you through the different views.
Ah.
And one's called broadcast.
Gotcha.
And now you guys get a nice shot of Bathurst track map, which looks like genitals. But anyway, so
you need to go see a doctor. Well,
I didn't say mine. But anyway, so we're still on board. Chris is going to be moving around. Okay, I can see what you're doing now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough. I'm
It's
not
gonna be a
gonna lie.
little rough, but you know what? We're good at rough.
Yeah.
We can smooth the edges. So Joseph Savage, I don't know if you got to look at the side shot on that Lexus or not, but he has got some damage on that on the RCF after going broadside into Murray's Corner into the tire
Yeah,
barriers.
you can see it on
practically at speed.
the passenger side.
So it's going to be rough for Mr. Joby Kenobi, currently down in 12th, trying to make a move on the inside on Nick Kohut. Vulcan 4.4 ahead. Ferris 4.1 back from Carl Big. So the front three are spread out.
Yeah, we got Artem in 9th.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna need some Tide Bullet to try and get those stains out of the Lexus. So it's gonna be tough, but
He'll get one of those whiteout like Sharpie pen things, and he'll just color it all in. It'll be fine. Or
Matt Artem,
another rattle can.
Matt Artem in that American United Racing Audi, which is currently spotless, is chasing down Robeson. Last lap from Artem was a 208.360. Robeson's pumping in 209s now, so whatever he was doing on dry weather tires, it stopped working. Front runner's still running 206s, 207s. I'm still waiting to see if Brian Curzon's gamble to start the race on wets is going to pay off or not.
I mean, yeah, that's a heck of a gamble, because
his last lap was a 2:15.09. So
is he the only car on?
He's the only car on wets. The only car. It's raining enough, but apparently not enough to actually transition to wets. We're still greasy.
That poor
29
guy.
degrees. I think he took the gamble. And while he's good at keeping it safe, he took the gamble, and it's just not paying off. He's falling down the order like a stone. He's down in 16th now. All right.
So the other unfortunate part about race control not working is that we also will not have a penalty sheet or anything like that. So there will be no penalty review on Wednesday.
Well, no. What you can do after the stream, I've got pit wall set to auto shut off after the race is over. And what you can do with pit walls, you can go to the 949 pit wall server, and you can pull the timestamps of the incidents out of pit wall, if you can see them. And if not, I can screenshot them and send it to you. It won't tell you what lap, but it'll at least tell you when.
Yeah, like timestamp type thing.
Yeah, timestamp type thing, yeah.
It'd be better than nothing. Ryan Cody is yellow flagged. And
where is Ryan?
Stationary.
Did he punch out?
He is backwards.
That is on the exit of the Dipper, it looks like.
He needs to get it moving now. He's got time.
Yeah, he's got time. He's going to have to Austin Powers it.
You better hurry, because here comes Regan and Joey.
You're going to have to hold it. He's going to have to hold it. He can't move.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous. There goes Joey. Now you got a little brief window. Move it forward.
He's not. He's.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Ryan. F's in chat.
I mean, he's got 2 more cars, and he's got Miller, and then he's got all the time in the world. I think he's just going to wait. That poor guy.
Yeah. Now he's got some time. Yeah, just bump the wall. Let it correct you and just drive off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like you can do any more. You're not going to lose any more time.
Yep, Ryan, unfortunately, in the wall on the exit of the Dipper, and that's unfortunate. Joby Kenobi trying to come back at Nick Kohut. Last lap from, let's take a look at pit wall and pull up the last lap data for Mr. Savage, 209.952. But Nick is just a little bit quicker, 300ths of a second. Not much between these guys. You want me to paste the pit wall link in chat for the folks that might want to watch the data, other data nerds out there?
But yeah, if there's other data nerds, go for it.
Data nerds, assemble!
If the idea of doing taxes gets you all hot and bothered, you will
Yes.
love Pitwall.
Yeah. Well, I actually do not like taxes. I don't even like balancing a checkbook.
Who balances a checkbook nowadays?
I mean, I still have a TV Guide subscription.
Oh, Joby's gonna touch the wall again.
Man, that's unfortunate.
He does not like the right side of that car. Just hitting it against every wall that he possibly can.
So that right
Oh, he's
there
gonna
is-
spin it. Oh, he drift.
Oh,
The wall's gonna keep
oh.
him pointed the right direction.
Just lucky enough, man. He is just limping around in that car.
Yeah,
Got a little bit of damage, but
that was a
it's not,
pretty heavy hit
not-
on the rear end there.
it's not anything Tide Pods won't fix. 4.87, 4.847 seconds between Volkenbacher and Carl Big. Ferris has dropped down 8 seconds back behind Carl in P3, but is holding a little over a second in front of Murray in the Honda.
Couple of Honda boys, Mike Lukey and John Jorgensen together.
You know what would be a fascinating turn of events in this race? We've
What's
got
that?
rain. We got rain still happening for 30 minutes. It would be fascinating to see how many people are going to pit at the halfway point, and if it switches to damp
Oh yeah, because you have to
in
pit
the second
again.
half.
Yeah.
Exactly. We could have a two-stopper for wet weather tires, depending on how things go. Oh, Ferris just went big drifto. No idea what happened there.
Yeah, now he's got Murray right next to him. They're gonna try to go side by side up the hill.
He kept it together, man. I'm looking at that car right now. I don't see a lot of damage, so Ferris caught it. Like
Yeah.
he went full Tokyo drift in the cutting.
Well, he
And,
has suffered for the entire season in that car for this race alone.
Better man than me.
Yeah, he
Better
just
man
wants
than
to be able to send it on the mountain.
Hey, here's the thing: the V12 Aston is the every time you hit the gas pedal, it's miles per gallon. But also, it is a fun car to drive. Like when you get on tracks where it's like, oh, look at this, a hairpin. I wonder how fast I'm going to exit this corner now. It's just one of those things when you hit monster straights that it just flies. So much fun.
Yeah, he's just pulling away from the Honda behind him.
Yeah, the Honda. Yeah, the Chad car right now, and he's just pulling away. Like, I mean, he's got four more cylinders in the car. For Pete's sake, he's got to be faster at something. But into the chase now.
Yeah, we got Funk and Murray trying to chase him down.
Yep, and they're staying close. They're keeping each other honest relative to Ferris on track. 1 hour, 8 minutes, 40 seconds left in this race. Greasy track conditions, 27 degrees, ambient 29 degrees on track. Mr. Volkenbacher and Carl Big, and Ferris. And how do you pronounce Ferris's last name?
Sadie.
Sadie? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's your top three.
Ferris, the Flasher, Sadie.
Yep. What about the other categories? Who we got leading in the silver and bronze categories, respectively?
Well, Michael Lukey currently sitting P1 in silver, followed by Robeson and Artem. A couple seconds between the three of those two, or three of them. And then down in bronze, as I painfully click through the entire list, Joey Meliti currently sitting P1, Max Diggs P2 about 5 seconds back, and then Brian Curzon, the man on the wets, sitting P3.
So Joey Meliti in the Death Race Esports McLaren.
I mean, his car looks like he's been through a death race.
Yep, 4 seconds up, almost 5 seconds up on Max Diggs, who had a bit of early drama in the chase. That M4 does have a little bit of damage. I think he was actually involved in that collision.
Yeah, they all were.
Elbow.
Yeah, almost all of the bronze drivers were involved in that. So they're all going to be carrying some sort of damage. And along the way, I'm sure that they've, tapped some walls, as everybody has.
just Bathurst wall inspector.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I'm just making sure. Yep, still there, still stands.
Making sure those walls are still there.
Yep. I tested it. It can take a car impact. We're good. Man, that's one thing. You think about Bathurst as a track. Now this is a road course, but this is actually would be considered a street circuit. These are town roads that they are driving on right now. You can actually see in the background when you're starting to go up Mountain Straight, um, houses to the left and the right off in the distance.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times the concrete walls, especially around places like Skyline and Forest Elbow, have had to be replaced. Because GT3s and supercars and stuff like that, just smashing into those walls year after year after year. Those things have to take a beating, and I'm just kind of curious how often they get replaced.
Yeah, I would imagine they keep their grounds crew really busy. They probably got one of those cool machines for doing the barriers that just drives along. They pour concrete in it, and it just you go through and you do all your rebar stuff, and then it just basically makes that shape as they drive along the track.
Interesting
Um,
stuff.
yeah, I work in construction, and it's dumb.
But you get to build a lot of stuff. That's got to be cool.
Sure.
It's got to be at least somewhat rewarding when it's like you've put in the work, building something, and then you got like a building.
Yeah, I mean,
after
well,
all of it.
I don't do building. I do road construction, so bridges, highways, and things like that. So yeah, it is kind of rewarding when you're driving down a road that you repaved, and it's like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah.
But then it sucks whenever you've spent 3 months doing a job, and then a year later it's all cracked and broken, or
Yeah.
or somebody has dropped a trailer driving down the highway and it's gouged it out. And
Yeah, but that a majority of the degrading you guys see is probably mostly from Mother Nature and the elements.
yeah, we get a lot of washout and stuff like that, and the concrete starts to crack and slip for the asphalt.
It's wild stuff, man. Hats off to you for doing it, because I don't do anything remotely tangible that's rewarding.
Good old Oklahoma.
Into the chase right now. David Funk exiting the chase, chasing down Murray in the 38 Honda. I mean, to be perfectly honest, that delta has not moved between them pretty much at all.
Yeah,
For
they're
like the last half hour.
just kind of trailing, putting down some laps, trying to make it to the halfway mark. Decide if you want to fix damage. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Looking at the lap times, man, Vulcan's still pumping in 206s.
He's a machine.
We're now almost 27 minutes into this race. It has been raining the entire time, and the track is still greasy. It is just the conditions. I think if this track does flip to damp, are going to be just it's going to throw such a wrench into the works.
Yeah, it's
for the viewers at home, it's exciting. Hopefully it's not that case where it's like, oh, look, it just so happened that like 45 minutes into the race it flipped to damp. I wonder what people are going to do now.
Well, yeah, the hope is that David Funk, big touch on the wall.
Yeah, he's going to have some side pod damage. Hopefully that was not a hard enough strike to meatball the car. He's still moving pretty quick, so it's one of those weird things when ACC throws the meatball flag for a side contact, but hopefully he's good in the Audi.
Well, in iRacing, he would definitely be meatballed, and he'd be going to the pit right now.
Yeah.
iRacing would have been like, oh, that was a wheel hit. That's 25 minutes of damage. Your race is over.
Looking at the data right now, there are just not that many close fights. This is pretty much a prototypical.
It's a survival race. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a prototypical Bathurst race where the field's going to stretch out a little bit. We're going to see a little bit of a strategy deviation when we get into the pit stops, and then we're probably going to get another 15-20 minutes of racing before we kind of see the field settle and we know who's racing whom.
Joey completed his pit stop. He was yellow flagged. I'll tell you what, this having to click through cars is painful.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like, oh, somebody's yellow flagged. It's going to take me a minute to get to it. Because Michael Lukey was just yellow flagged in the chase. I think he might have ran a little wide because he didn't look like he had any damage.
Yeah. The trick is going to be just like keying in on yellow flags when you see them in the key areas, cutting, forced elbow. Sometimes quarry bend, so that's after you come up the mountain straight. When you go into the sweeping right-hander to go up the mountain, that's quarry. Sometimes cars will try and run that side by side, and sometimes it doesn't end well.
Oh yeah, that's always a good one.
But just looking at the data right now, so you said that Mr. Joey Melitti has served his pit stop.
He has.
As has Ryan Cody. So I'm kind of curious now. I'm going to cycle through my ACC real quick. I kind of want to take a look and find Mr. Melitti. So Melitti is still on dries after the pit stop. Bold strategy. Because it's going to continue to rain. I'm really kind of curious if and when this race flips to damp. Or it's just going to be like the normal broadcaster curse kind of thing when you got Ryan Cody's going back into the pits.
Oh no.
Oh no, he's got more front end damage.
Oh Ryan.
I hope he's not.
My boy. I wonder if it's a thing where like it's raining, but it's not raining enough to overcome the heat from the tires to make it damp.
Well, and also the cars are going to be pumping a little bit of water off the race line. So the way that I think ACC does it, I'm not a technical person when it comes to the driving sim, so bear with me. I mean, it is modeling like how the grip kind of lays down on the tracks when you're dealing with like the weather model. So you're going to have a dry line. And as long as the dry line stays dry enough, and I'm actually looking at a rear shot of Ferris being chased down by David Funk. Don't know where, not sure where, hang on a minute. Where did Murray go? Oh, he went off. Yeah, you mentioned before he went off track. At the chase. That's how Funk found his way around. So Ryan Cody in the pits again. We've had 2 retirements from this race.
Yeah, we're down. Oh, David Funk's gonna. Oh, that was a huge drift. Yep, through Hell Corner.
Big drift through. That's the cutting. But
is it the cutting? I'm sorry.
We'll get you there.
I don't know.
But the thing is that that right there, it's very common going into the cutting to get those kind of like rear lockups that kick the rear end out because you got that small kink. Some people take it with like a small lift. Some people actually tap the brakes to get the fronts to grip up.
I'm a brake guy.
But if you get too much rear locking going into chase, kick the rear end out. The problem is the corner has kind of like this weird weave in it in terms of like it's kind of like on camber, off camber in places. It just makes the car behave very strange, especially when you start to lose control of it. He's got it together though. He's just got to try and get back up to the bumper of Ferris, and it's going to be hard because now he's broken draft, and the V12 is just a monster in a straight line.
Yeah. Gonna have to try to catch him going over the mountain again.
That's going to be the area where the Audi is going to have the advantage. Audi is another one of those monster cars in a straight line, but he is going to have a lot more of the aerodynamic advantage. So I'm seeing Regan going into the pits. He just came out of the pits, I should say. P13 in number 7 Honda.
So if Regan just came out of the pit, he didn't take fuel because his pit is not cleared.
Oh, interesting. I might be missing the lead here. It might have been a different car.
Might have been Joby, because Joby has just finished his pit and is headed to the cutting now.
He cycled out behind Regan, so it was probably like one of those cases where I looked over, and by the time I looked over and noticed that somebody was in the pits, then made a move.
He cycled out behind Carl. Regan is in the final corner right now. Regan is crossing the start-finish line.
Oh no! When I say cycled out, I meant like in the actual like racing order. Oh no! Hang on.
No, because Regan is 13th and Joby is 17th.
Interesting. I guess maybe pit wall has kind of lost its marbles.
Dude, everything is messing up, like race control, pit wall. Can't trust anybody anymore.
You can't.
It's
There are
all,
no facts.
it's all fake news.
It's all fake news. That's it. So it's all alternative facts. Um,
Yeah, this race is turning into one of those where you just need to survive longer than the other people in your category.
so Murray and Diggs are in the pits now.
Yeah, Diggs had a lot of damage on that BMW.
Murray in the pits, Diggs in the pits. Dylan Beveridge has parked it. Ryan Cody is out after his second pit stop, which was probably long to fix some damage.
Did Murray have like a really short pit stop? Because his cleared and he's already moving.
Let's take a look at his pit stop. A lot of the other pit stops I'm going to see, I'm not going to get probably a true pit stop delta from Murray in comparison to the rest of the field, because a bunch of the other field pitted for damage.
Yeah.
But he did put a 131.941 in the pit stop. Let's see. In fact, where is he on track right now? I kind of want to take a look at his tires to see what we're talking about in terms of race strategy from him.
In the cutting now.
So Murray is on wet weather tires. Taking the gamble.
Oh.
He's on the wets.
Or did he get screwed over by the wet tire bug? Where you select dry tires and then it gives you wets instead. Because that apparently is a thing.
Yeah, that would be very unfortunate. But he is on wets all the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look and see how the race progresses, because it has been raining for quite some time. But we haven't seen the track transition to damp conditions. So we're just going to have to wait and see. 7.141 between Carl Big and Vulcan Bakkerdan. Vulcan's on easy street right now. He is just cruising along, managing the pace of this race. Last lap from Vulcan, he put in a 207.205. So it looks like the pace is starting to fall off just a hair in the top three. 207.205 for Vulcan, 207.332 for Carl.
Well, they're also
208.577.
They're also dealing with lap traffic as well.
Yeah.
Because you got Brian Curzon in between Vulcan and Carl, and Brian is on the wet tires. So if you're stuck behind somebody on wet tires going over the mountain, not a whole lot of places to get by.
That is going to be tough. I wonder what Brian's time is when he comes across.
So Murray back into the pits. So
I think he's going to swap off the wet.
I think it was the tire bug.
So Curzon comes across the line 2:15.3. So man, he is just suffering through. So think about this, man.
I mean, he's still leading bronze.
We are what is it? 16 laps into this race, and he is lapping on average 7 to 8 seconds slower than the race leaders. Over 16 laps. That's a lot of time to lose on the wet strategy. That is chasing bad money after good, let me tell you.
I just want to know what his tires look like right now. Are they balloons? Are they 1,000 degrees?
They're probably going to be useful for a good pasta sauce.
Is he on the rim yet? Like, has he burned through the tire? But like I said, he's top of the bronze leaderboard right now.
I mean, we're looking at 112 minutes. We're looking at or not 112 minutes, 112 seconds. We're looking at almost 2 minutes lost in lap time alone on wet weather tires in comparison to the front runners. Now, he probably wouldn't be doing low 207s with Vulcan on dries, but that's still just to give you guys an understanding of what the delta is between him and the front runners every lap.
You can see Carl right ahead of him, and then Vulcan a little bit further up the road, so he has been lapped, but
yeah. So Murray dives back into the pits, and a 104.867. So he did not have to take fuel because he already had it in the car. Let me go peek around and see if I can see if he swapped back over to the dry weather tires, and he did. Now, if it swaps to greasy after the 45-minute mark of this race, F's in chat for Murray.
Yeah.
So
what I'm expecting is going to happen is we're going to get past the 45-minute mark because it predicts about 30 minutes out. So as soon as everybody has done their pit stop, then it will switch and say that rain is coming,
Yeah,
and then
it's gonna
everybody will have to pit,
it's gonna be wild. Dave Miller
or
in the
like,
Porsche.
or have it just start raining like 15 minutes before the end of the race, because then you have to decide: do I stop for wet tires or do I just try to survive on dries?
Indeed. Miller is currently second in bronze, yet to pit though. Last lap from Miller. Let's take a look at the data. Miller did a 2:14.9. What kind of tire is Miller on, actually? Could he potentially be on the wets too?
I don't think so. Miller is he's one of the previous season bronze drivers that got lumped in
dry
with
weather.
the silvers.
So Ferris right now still out in front of David Funk, 4/10 between them. We're 50 minutes, 50 seconds into the finale, Chris, of Series 10 of the Pint Series.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. Um, have a couple Sundays off at least
Yep.
for everybody to enjoy their holidays. We will probably do some one-off things. Haven't really decided yet. Just to keep people, doing stuff on a Sunday if they want to. But yeah, last organized series for us for the rest of the year.
So Dylan's looking forward to a old AC one-off.
Well,
AC
that's
one-offs are fun.
So Paul is trying to organize an AC1 race for charity. I forget what track and cars he's thinking about, but it's one of those things that he wants to do it, and we just need to get some people interested. I'm gonna make some posters and stuff, put them up on like Reddit and things like that.
Old British BTCC. Come on, man. Do it.
I mean, that's possible.
Old British BTCCs are a dream. What was it? We did Thruxton with the old school.
Oh, Ferris gonna dive into the pits.
Yep. Well, I mean, we're about at that point. He's gonna overfill a little bit and then try and go to the end.
But Ferris is notorious for going long. Pun intended. Yeah, it used to be that Ferris would wait until the last couple laps and then pit. But actually pitting 4 minutes earlier than what
overcut?
Yeah.
Man,
I mean,
overcut
he made it work.
Dan Tazaro. Dan Tazaro would do the same stuff in 949. Would run basically to the point where if he did not pit, he would get a penalty.
That's what Joey did last week at Imola. He had to pit early and he fueled the car, or maybe he didn't pit early, but he ran until like the last 10 minutes and then pit.
Joey Militi's back in the pits.
Is he?
It looked like I saw it up on the broadcast tower in the actual ACC.
Okay. Yeah, he's back out. Currently sitting behind Stephen Wallace, I believe.
So in terms of the actual situation with wet weather right now, Volkan Bakernit's still lapping in high 206s. So it is not wet enough yet, at least for the front three. Well, now front two, to pull the trigger and switch over to wets.
Yeah, he's got a lot of empty road in front of him and behind him. I mean, Regan's kind of a couple seconds behind him, and then Carl about 9 seconds back. But yeah, they've got a lot of free track.
Brian Curzon now 2:13.852. We're just going to use Brian as the canary in the coal mine for whether or not wet weather tires are working, because he still hasn't pitted yet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he just likes to suffer, or maybe he got the wet tire bug at the start and he's just like, screw it, I'm gonna run my strategy. I don't know.
Regan, I think he must have had an incident with the wall. He's on the dry weather tires that he swapped to when he went in for a second pit stop. But his last lap before this one was a 3 minute. So that could have been his outlap, but he also might have had a little incident with the wall. Not quite sure. Carl Big, Mr. Blackout.
Out there
On
vibing in
Twitch.
second place. Yeah.
Yep, vibing in second place, 8.862 off the pace. To be honest here, I think we're getting into a situation where the weather is going to have to influence the outcome of this race a little bit more than we're currently seeing. Jan Yixer in fourth going into pits.
Yep. Yeah, unless something drastic happens, I don't see the top two changing. It'll be interesting to see how close Ferris comes out to David Funk.
Mm-hmm.
When Funk pits. I kind of click through the leaderboard here because there's no telling who you're going to get next.
Yeah, it's
This is
interesting.
brutal.
Yep.
Like, I've watched other people do broadcasts where they just, it's like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I use the ever ancient like ACC broadcast client, because race control, I mean, it's great for what it does and stuff like that. Like, I just like there's the way the app behaves and stuff like that just rubbed me a little bit too much the wrong way. And I mean, the broadcast app for ACC already is the lowest bar in the world. So
Right.
if you can't like do, in my opinion, if you can't do that more stable than the broadcast app, I'm not going to use you.
Well, this is the first time I've ever really had an issue with the race control, and it just died.
It went bonk.
And every time I try to restart it, like it tries to connect and then it times out.
Yeah, that's another ACC feature. So the way the broadcast client works is that stop go 30 for B.
Oh,
What?
what?
It ain't registered for us yet. Did he overcook it?
Bullet says possible.
Oh, possible.
Because
Did
he's
he overcook
also
it on pit entry.
That'll be interesting.
Big.
That'll put Funk in the mix.
Big. Don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to me, Big. All right, so he's coming out of the pits.
We'll see when he exits.
Moment.
Got Bullet pit lane reporter.
Pit lane updates with our man on the ground, Bullet R34. And just for Bullet, like I like Bullet to weigh in on this. Wouldn't an actual like Bullet remake, but with a skyline, be like the dopest movie ever?
Oh,
Changed my mind.
Carl's out. No penalty.
Carl's out, no penalty. Just skates through. Just. Where's the FIA controversy? No kidding.
Well, he's got that. What is it? The stealth fighter, active camouflage stuff where they can't track him.
The radar can't. They just can't see him. They just can't see him. The camouflage is too good.
Yep.
He got loud. I was saying if they did a Bullet remake where instead of I forgot what year Mustang it was in Bullet.
It was a 60 something, right?
Instead of a Mustang, an actual Skyline as the car in Bullet.
But then it would be Fast and Furious, wouldn't it?
No, they've done
68.
They've driven Japanese cars in racing films before Fast and Furious ever came along.
I know, but I've never actually seen the original Bullet movie, but apparently there's like infamous car chases or something like that, which is a staple of Fast and the Furious.
That's true.
So if you start taking cars from the Fast and Furious and you put them into like everything, any movie that has car chase, Ferris is gonna cook it going down the hill, gonna get it shut down before he hits the wall.
Yeah, that is way too much curb. Like that right there was a desperate man trying to slow down a very heavy car going downhill over some very aggressive bumps.
I can just imagine Ferris in his VR freaking out trying to get that thing to stop.
Yeah, he's gonna
There's the flash.
The bathroom immersion.
He can hear us. He's flashing and weaving.
Yep. The bathroom immersion. He probably is gonna need to change his pants.
But yeah, Mr. Arrive and Drive.
That right there would be a fun stream for New World, I think. Like New World watches and just do like famous like racing movies or like car chase movies and stuff like that, and just gauge people's reaction and just BS in chat. Because let's be honest, that's what we're here for, right? Just to BS with one another in chat.
Yeah, but we get like permabanned for showing copyrighted content.
Oh no, you don't show the content. You
Oh.
don't show the content. You just do it just chatting. And
Oh,
then in
I
Discord,
gotcha.
people can tune in and watch.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's how you do
So
it.
we'll just broadcast us talking about it and then
Yeah.
play like
yeah.
a replay of one of these races in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems like a dumb idea that has not been tried at all on Twitch TV already, and would probably get you maybe like two more followers.
100% original idea from Will
Yep.
himself,
Yep,
copyrighted,
that's right. Yep.
registered trademark. If you
Yep.
do it, we're gonna sue you.
Yep. Carl Big going downhill now through Skyline. He's keeping it together, man. He's got some traffic he's going to have to work through. Vulcan Bockerton pitting with less than 42 minutes on the clock. 23 laps under his belt.
Oh, Carl's gonna touch the wall. Yeah, exit.
That is going to slow him down just a little bit. Is it wetter out there now than when you quit? I don't think so. Funk is still lapping in high 207s, Dylan. I just feel like I think Chris brought it up. I think it looks like
It's just not hard enough to switch over.
yeah, it's just not hard enough to transition. So the only thing that could really impact in terms of the weather right now is somebody mixing up their tire strategy on pit stop. Now we had some moments where, oh yeah, I'm sure Brian Curzon right now is driving around on some tomatoes, but he's coming into the pits.
He's
to
in the
get
pit
some,
now.
What he's doing, he's going to pit, and he's going to switch from wet weather tires to dry ones, and then the track's going to switch to damp. Or is he going to go with the sunk cost fallacy option and just stick with the wets? Hell, he might not even change tires. He might like tomatoes.
Brian's gonna curse everybody and switch to dries, and the game's gonna be like, no. You did have to race on wets. Now,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
We're gonna do this right now. I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna leave the camera stuck on Brian, so that we can find out how this story plays out.
Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking around.
Still on wets.
Hell yeah. Brian, a man of
This-
principle.
He is. He's like, you know what? Like when I commit to the wrong option, I stay with the wrong.
Man.
Where is he going to cycle out though in relation to the rest of the field?
He is in
He hasn't
front
gone
of.
through a sector.
He's in front of Luis. He's behind Ryan Cody. But I believe Ryan Cody might be a lap down to him. Question mark.
He's
Carl-
driving in bad weather as a Canadian.
Carl has hit the wall in force elbow 2 laps in a row.
Yeah, that's gonna. Eventually, he's gonna end up affecting the suspension on that car just a tad.
He's gonna pull the front fender off of that thing.
So Curzon looks like he might have cycled out behind Max Diggs in the standings. Looks like Wallace in the 15s going in the pits. Robeson's diving in now, pitting from third, by the way.
Yeah, as the pit cycle goes through, I mean, he was ahead of like Carl and John Jorgensen and Ferris and them because of the pit cycle.
I'm just kind of curious where he cycles out in relation to Luis.
Now, is Funk's plan to drive for another 8 minutes or so just so you can see what the weather is to the end of the race and then pit? So you're not surprised?
Maybe. The other thing you could do, so they've been racing on these dry tires in the wet for a while. Oh, Bullet just said, dang it, B.
Yeah, it keeps tapping the wall.
Ah, okay. Well, what I'm just curious about is I'm trying to figure out is Funk going to be racing on a light fuel at the end of this race with fresher tires? If the conditions don't change to damp, could make him pretty quick. Could make a good challenge for Ferris. The other thing is too is he could be trying to extend past Ferris. He's had Ferris in front of him pretty much this whole time.
Well,
and now he's got laps where he's not.
he needs to
Pumping
quit
208s.
quit hitting the wall. Like everybody is tapping the exit of Forest Elbow.
Yeah.
Because Carl's done it a couple times. David just did it on this lap.
Ferris and Luis Castro just set their fastest laps after the pit stops. So they are both like took Ferris about 5 laps to get his fast laps pumped out. Castro, however, 2 laps into his current stint, pumps out his fastest lap of the race.
He's being chased by Regan in the Honda. We might actually have a battle, like something under a second now.
You were talking about this before, Chris. This is a race that is all about survival.
Yeah, it's a race of attrition. I mean, we've had 2 people leave so far. Plenty of crashes, people pitting multiple times. Either for the wet tire bug or just to fix damage. And yeah, like the standings that we started with are nowhere close to what we're running with now. And there's so many incidents that people have had that we haven't seen, either because of not having race control, or we just didn't notice the yellow flag. Drive to survive-ish. We don't want to get sued. Does Regan have damage on the front of the car? It looks like his hood has popped up a little bit.
Yeah, he did get a little bit of damage on the car. Like he had a couple of laps after he went in for the pit stop, and we did see a little bit of front end damage on it. After that, he was a little bit slower.
It's not slowing down in a straight line compared to the straight line of the Aston. Well, let's see where they catch Brian Curzon, because Brian, as you said, still on wets.
So here's the thing about Brian. His lap time's starting to come down now.
Nice.
He's pumping a 210, so maybe it's finally starting to get wet enough where the wet tires are going to start to have an advantage.
Or he put on fresh wets and they just have a little bit more life in them than his old ones.
So the Falcon Punt Racing Honda NSX trying to move through traffic. Brian Curzon getting lapped.
Yeah, Brian currently sitting P2 in bronze. So overtaken by Max Siggs through the pit cycle.
So what is Miller's last lap in relation to?
We got David Funk finally into the pit with 34 minutes to go. As Vulcan will take P1 back.
Still pumping in high 206s from Vulcan. Vulcan is just on another level.
He's just cruising, man. He's probably talking to chat, hanging out.
Carl Biggs' last lap was a 209.875. The pace is just falling off for Mr. Blackout. Jan Yixer with the 208.487 last lap as well. So it's tough. Big battle's back. 207.305. So the times are starting to come down for him. That's good. I think that gap of 23 seconds is going to be hard to do something about unless these track conditions really, really devolve.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of chill the last 30 minutes, bring it home, get a P2. I mean, like you said, unless something drastic happens to Vulcan, I don't know that anybody's going to catch him.
We were talking about pit stops earlier. Luis Castro making it clinical, a 107.211.
Well, Luis notoriously bad at pit stops.
Yeah.
So, good to hear.
So David Funk, he pumped in a 104, and Vulcan Bakkerdan pumped in a 104 as well. So the top of the field pumping in 104s. Luis only 3 seconds off. A good chunk of the field way worse than that, but I think that's mostly down to damage. We got Artem in the 414. He's hitting the pits.
Yeah, last car to clear the pit stop.
And to the regs, everybody is good now. 32 minutes, 26 seconds left in this race.
Regan and Luis side by side. Regan's going to take that position. Continue up
Looks
the
like
mountain.
it's gonna be tough for Luis. Looks like, I mean, it's about 5, maybe 6 tenths between Luis and
Yeah, once they hit the
Regan.
straight, I mean, Regan's just gonna kind of drive away.
I mean, he's driving away right now. I'm kind of curious, right? The behavior of the Aston right now on the mountain has got me a little bit skeptical. Like, I'm wondering, maybe did Luis get the Cussy Racing Aston wrong on the pit stop? Tire pressures could be off. Something could be wrong with the car, because he is not gaining ground where I would expect him to in relation to the Honda.
Yeah, you think he'd be faster through the mountain section.
It's just a more stable car. It's
There's,
just a more stable platform. He's got the right turn signal on for kicks.
well, that's if you see on the screen, it says flashing light indicates arousal. So,
All right, well, there you go.
there you go. For anybody who's wondering, Luis is aroused.
Yeah.
Now, if it keeps going this way, he's probably going to want to seek medical help.
Yes.
Because anything longer than 4 hours or so, you should probably talk to your doctor.
Anything longer than 4 hours and you start to look like the Bathurst track map. So yeah, definitely see a doctor.
Yeah.
Across the line, let's take a look.
It is Movember, which is Men's Health Month, so
Yes, definitely get yourself checked.
Go talk to your doctor.
Get yourself checked. Take care of yourself out there. 27 laps in the books. We're almost at the half-hour mark for the remainder of this race, Chris. Round 6, Series 10, the finale at Bathurst, and many more races to come. So,
yeah, I've committed. I'm waiting on a commit from a co-caster. Cough, cough.
I think there's something going on with scheduling right now. We're gonna have to check back with the potential co-caster for the next season.
His people need to talk to my people.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to do lunch or something.
Yeah.
Shit, I gave it away.
We got contract negotiation. Well, maybe you're the people for that person. Spoilers.
Indeed. Yeah. If anybody wanted spoilers in this stream,
nobody's watching this. Nobody's gonna hear that. They won't know until January.
That's hilarious. So yeah, we are past that half-hour mark now. 28 laps in the books. Vulcan in the lead of this race. Carl Big holding P2 firmly right now. 21 seconds between him and Funk. Gixxer 6 seconds back from Dave Funk now, so Gixxer might be a bit of a late player, and he's in front of Ferris.
Yeah, he's got a rearview mirror full of V12 Aston.
Yeah, he's got 12 cylinders chasing him down. Whether or not they fire in sequence,
there's the flashes.
You're gonna have to go to your Aston Martin dealership to find out.
Yeah, look away if you have seizures. Ferris's encoder wheel headlight flashing. Hilarious. You know, there's some leagues out there where you can't flash, like, at all. Oh, Jorgensen, way wide. I think he drift that one as well.
Yeah, he might have tapped the wall. There might have been some contact there. There might have been some contact on the 64 Honda.
The flat.
Team Hive Mind, I have known and raced around or with Gixxer for quite some time. Cool dude, the Team Hive Mind crowd. Some funny dudes, Voodoo Child, Shooter, some real fun dudes.
Yeah, you were talking
Mostly
to
race AOR.
You were talking to somebody yesterday about doing endurance races with them.
Oh, with the
Beltan or somebody?
Oh yeah. So what we're talking about doing is, after we get through the Vulcan Sim Racing Community Rapid Drivers Club Mini Enduro, we're trying to figure out kind of like what we're going to do afterwards. Don't think that LFM is going to have R Factor 2 endurance races up and running yet. So probably going to just do some tooling around in iRacing, and then do maybe the 6-hour endurance races as well. I know that Joseph Kostovich, who finished P2 in the 949 Sim Racing Ferrari,
yesterday
Nice.
soloed the 6 hours of Donington
What an animal.
in the Ferrari. Like,
Oh my god.
dude's in VR, like an absolute Chad.
Bruh.
But yeah, apparently I don't think we're allowed in the car for the 6-hour races, but he wants us to race with him in the 12-hour finale for that series. So
All
we
right.
definitely got some endurance racing coming up. That's kind of what we're focusing on a little bit more in 949, trying to get back to doing more small group racing and, you know, our normal comedy on Twitch that you guys can all tune in and laugh at.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Mark Robeson, Gold School Racing, the 199, currently in lead of the silver category.
Yep. 12-second lead over Regan.
Yeah, 12-second lead over Regan. And Regan has had quite a recovery in this race. I just kind of I'm going to jump over to the data real quick. I'm curious what the story is with Regan. So Regan pumping in 210s on the average in first stint. Not really sure why, but his pace has come alive in the second stint. 207.620. He is definitely making an impact in the second stint, and is currently chasing down Robeson. Let's take a look at Robeson's times. I'm kind of curious.
Well, we
Robeson,
watched Regan chase down and pass Luis Castro, and has already put 3 seconds on him.
Yeah, he is. He's moving at a rate of knots now. Robeson was pumping in 209s in first stint. This stint he's pumping in 207. So Regan and Robeson running about similar pace. I really feel like traffic is going to have to be a factor for 12.7 seconds to get made up somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Regan is currently behind Ryan Cody coming down the mountain. Granted, Ryan will let him go as soon as he gets into within range, but that's not easy to do coming down the mountain at Bathurst.
Yeah, it's a tricky track, especially to get a pass pulled off on. All right. 26 degrees ambient temperature. Rain is still falling. Just going to check in with front runners real quick.
How's Brian doing? That's what the people want to know. How is Brian doing?
How's Brian doing? Well, the good news for you. I actually have a camera that is committed to Brian Curzon.
Brian?
We're calling it the How's the Wet Weather Tires Doing, Brian. He's currently lapping at 2:11.505, which, to be honest, is good enough for bronze. Like he's doing 2:11.950. No, that's Miller. He did 2:11.505. The next fastest bronze driver on the grid is Joey Melitti with a 2:11.317. So.
Oh, we lost somebody? We went from 18 to 17?
What happened?
I don't know. I don't even know who it was.
I'm looking through the list right now. Was it one of the Astons? Yeah, it's Wallace.
Oh, yeah, Wallace, yeah.
Let's see if I can pull up and see what happened there. Oh yeah, he had a 11-minute pit stop.
Oh.
So he must have had some serious bonkage after his normal. So he pitted, went out 2 laps, pitted again, went out 2 laps, went into the pits, and vanished. Was spirited away.
Interesting. Well, he was the one who was turned sideways at the beginning with the bronze incident when he looped it and everybody kind of got freight trained up behind him.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if he kept getting some sort of issue with his tires, like it wouldn't let him put the right tires on. I don't know. Because why would you pit and do 2 laps and then come in and pit and then do
2 laps and then pit again? Yeah. I think it could be down to contact. Because, I mean, if you're switching tires with the pit stop, you're going to be coming out on colder rubber. And it's already wet. And you're on dry compound tires. Murray has quit as well. What? Murray has dropped from the race. Wow. The mountain.
Oh, Joby. Joby, his car was pretty trash
Jacked
there.
up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. The mountain is claiming lives, folks.
Cristo 250 rating with a party of 7. What's up, Raider people? We are trying to survive to the end of this race, but apparently the last 20 minutes,
It's tough out there, man.
the mortality rate has gone up dramatically.
Yeah, we've got some casualties. Thank you so much for the raid, though. 21 minutes, 40 seconds left in round 6 of the Pint Series, Series 10.
Series finale, the last pint race for the year. We will be back in January. January 8th will be week 1 of Pint Series 2023. Wet Bathurst could be rough. Yes, but it is also greasy, so we never went wet. So these guys are out there on slick tires. Or most of them.
Except for Brian.
Except for Brian. Brian's like, no, you will not.
I just got to know from Brian at the end of this race, like, what would the lap times have been on dry tires for him? Because I'm thinking he's just, like, losing so much pace. But I also could be wrong. Brian could be like, you know what? Wet weather tires for Brian's because that's what we need because that's where we're at right now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's fine. That's fine. I
like,
mean, I'm seeing
is
Joey
it a
driving around
safety?
on dries.
Is it a safety
Yeah.
thing? Are wet tires
Maybe.
safer when it's greasy than?
No, I think slicks are still the way to go because the wets tend to overheat.
Yeah.
But he might have under pressured them all to hell. But he's doing 212s right now. Joey Meliti on dries is doing 211.9s. Like,
No, don't
it.
don't question the process, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's okay. Like here's the thing. Brian is a better racer than me, so I should probably just shut up.
Yeah, that's
Race.
Yeah, that's why we do this part, is because we can't do the other part, you know, the actual driving thing.
Yeah, we that's why we judge from afar, because we can't really get it done up close. So,
yeah, they say those that can't do teach, but we can't teach either, so we just talk.
Yeah.
Those who can't do stream.
Yeah, armchair quarterbacking. Just kind of mold that analogy to something that's motorsport relevant, because I can't be bothered to figure one out. Max Diggs cresting the hill, going down through Skyline into the Dipper. Been a rough race for Max, but he is sticking it out, and is currently in lead of the bronze category.
Yeah, picked up a lot of damage in that early incident. Battled back. I don't know that he's gonna face much pressure from Brian on his wet tires, but 20 minutes to go, and that's a class win.
It is for Brian Curzon, it is going to be all about that pasta sauce that those tires are going to make when we get to the end of this race.
Well, also, Max Diggs, when we went into the practice session earlier, he was like, "Oh, it's a 90-minute race." Oh, because he was planning for 60 minutes.
Here's the thing. I think he's probably going to add, what would that be? Somewhere in the neighborhood of what? 15-20% more fuel for each stint, and just call it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've driven the M4. I'm pretty sure the setup will take it. And he's probably driving around, you know, maybe a higher engine map, maybe running TCE8, and just trying to keep it on the black stuff. David Funk's been keeping it on the black stuff quite well, holding on to that podium spot. 24 seconds back from Big, but 7 seconds ahead of Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris, they were 9.
You can see in the distance. Yeah,
Ferris has put 5 seconds on John Jorgensen since we last checked in.
Yeah, I think mostly that might have been the wall tap. It also could have been a little bit of the straight line speed from the B12. He's got a little bit of some blue flags. Team Yom is the Angry Bees are going up the mountain right now. They're about 7 seconds back from Funk. We're going to wait and see. Funk took the late pit stop. He would have been on the fresher tires by a lot and lighter fuel. So I'm expecting that he is going to be pretty quick, pretty hard to catch.
Ferris dances over the mountain. The lift?
Have to in the Aston.
Oh, yeah.
A bad hit for Carl Big. Oh, no. Where is Carl? Where is Mr. B?
Is he still pointed the correct direction?
Looks like it. We're gonna try and see if we can get a look at the AMG.
And did he hit the exit of Forest elbow again?
Well, he's got some front end damage, so I'm kind of curious.
Or maybe he couldn't get it shut down. Maybe caught a little curb.
Not sure. It does seem like the car is handling okay. 13 minutes of damage.
I'm sorry.
That is going to be that's going to be a development.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the back of it, he's got damage all around that thing.
Oh man, he must have had a moment in. If I'm gonna take a bet, and Bullet can tell me if I'm wrong on this. I'm gonna bet he died somewhere on the mountain, maybe in Skyline, like you were saying, couldn't get it shut down going into the river a little too hot.
Oh, he hit a few walls.
A few walls. All right. Well.
We got Michael Lukey has caught Luis Castro now as well. So the Honda's bullying Luis.
Yeah, Aston just does not have the same straight line grunt that the Hondas have. I mean, it is a pretty quick car in straight line. It's just not as quick as the Honda.
So this is a battle for podium and silver. With just under 16 minutes to go. It's gotten a little bit colder, not too much, not enough to really affect anything.
Brian Curzon is flashing his lights while I'm watching, so let's go ahead and check in with our man on the ground, Brian Curzon. How are the wet weather tires doing there, Brian? 213s.
Probably flashing a Vulcan as Vulcan went by to say you're welcome for getting out of the way.
Can Funk make up 22 to 23 seconds? That is a question. Let's take a look. So if I'm looking right now, David Funk's last lap was a 207.225. Even with the contact, it looked like Big pumped in a 208. So I'm going to bet no. I don't know if he can make up that much time. But what we're going to do, just for you, Bullet, I'm going to switch over to pit wall and we'll pull up the Delta Trace, and I'll start watching that graph to see when those lines might converge, if they will ever converge. We'll wait and see. There is a drop-off on pace. It's just not as significant as you might think. And for the folks that are looking, there is the link for pit wall if you want to follow along.
If you're a numbers guy. Lukey using all the track and then some. Oh, Lukey's going to loop it. That's going to be a big wall hit.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. And that might give him the meatball.
Yeah, he extended and touched grass, and then he was just all offline going through Skyline.
Yeah, I mean, he drifted. So he exited very wide through McPhillamy Park.
Another hit at Forest elbow.
Good morning from Germany.
What's up, Mr. Race Point?
How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. 14 minutes left in round 6 of Series 10 of the Pint Series. A moist Bathurst. It's getting bathy around here at Bathurst. A lot of water on the ground.
We started with... Oh, Lukey's going to lose it again.
Oh, no.
On the exit of the chase.
Yep. And he Beyblades into a spin.
I mean, he's got time to move it. Now he is done.
Oh, no. That is unfortunate.
From 21 down to 15, we are at 25% mortality rate.
Yep. I mean, that is Bathurst. Like, I've seen very few Bathurst races that do not have that kind of top 15 for Ryan Cody. Wow. Bullet coming in with the facts on the ground, folks.
Hey, top 5 in class as well. Let's go.
13 minutes left in this race. Vulcan Bockerton, VSRC, Nissan GTRs on Easy Street right now. 36 laps done and dusted.
Yeah,
he's got
cruising.
Quite a gap on Big, and Big has got some huge damage on that AMG. Taking a look for Bullet at that Delta graph, and it looks like Big is keeping Funk honest. Like, Funk is not going to just storm out of the background and catch up to Big if he can hold these pace figures.
Nico Howard has gotten past Brian Curzon. Brian is blue flag traffic.
P2 in bronze. right
Yeah,
now. Max
I mean,
Diggs,
it works. Yeah, Max Diggs,
coming
he
across the line with
is.
208.
Well, he has gone through turn 1, and Brian is on his way up the mountain. So Max is a third of a lap away from lapping
Lapping Brian? You're
bronze.
serious?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
because Brian is right behind Nick Kohout.
Oh my goodness, man. Max Diggs' last lap was a 208.7. Last lap from Brian Curzon, 213.9.
As we say that, Max puts it into the wall and it is sideways. Please hold your brakes. Oh, he almost collects David Funk. That was almost a tragedy. Please don't drive backwards, Max, because you will get disqualified. He's gonna crash. I mean, he's got an entire lap to get the thing turned around.
Oh
Just
no.
don't quit. He's gonna teleport back to the pits. Max, no,
Oh no.
because he's gonna have 2
Race
minutes of
leader in
hold
bronze.
time.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Max, don't do it to us.
So we've been sitting here making fun of Brian Curzon with the wet weather tires that are probably the size of they're very either lemony or tomatoey colored right now, and probably about 2 sizes too big for the car.
Yeah.
But he's laughing his way all the way to the bank because Max Diggs is in the pits, and he is not only going to unlap himself, he's going to take the position of top bronze in this race. Brian Curzon, tip of the hat, sir. Tip of the hat.
I told you when we started this race, Brian doesn't qualify. He just chugs around the track and keeps out of trouble, and he wins his category.
Yep, tip of the hat. Respect.
He was bronze last season, and then he got merged with the silver drivers from last season, which is people like Max and Joey and Ryan and them. And here he is. He's gonna possibly have the win here, bronze today.
I mean, I would say game recognized game, but he's a racing driver, and I'm just an idiot, so can't even really say that. So, but definitely tip of the hat to Mr. Curzon. I'm sure the marinara sauce will come out quite well.
Like he sat there before the race and he calculated all the odds and all the possibilities, and
I love it. I love it. Numbers guy.
yeah,
Man after my own heart.
there we
If
go.
I wasn't married, I'd swipe right. But
Timing is updated, and he is currently leading the bronze category.
9 minutes 23 seconds left in. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to read the clock correctly. No, I did.
You did. You're good.
I did. I was. I've got. I'm going to take a screenshot of this so that you can have a stroke.
Oh no. I can only imagine how much crap you have.
Yeah,
I mean, I run 4 monitors, and I've got like 15 programs going.
This is one monitor. This is one monitor.
But you have like an ultra wide though, right?
I think it's an ultra wide. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a. Is this the old Austin 12 ZYL?
Sorry?
Oh, the 12. Oh, you're talking about the 12-cylinder Aston. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's running the V12 Aston. Yeah, Ferris is running the V12 Aston. Ryan unlapping himself from Regan. Okay, interesting. So Regan dealing with maybe some troubles.
Yeah,
Somebody running the old. We got an old Aston in. It's okay, man. Don't sweat it, dude. Well, I mean, the car was broken. Like, I can imagine that's pretty gutting. You did your best, man. You did your best. You left it. You left it out all out on the track. You didn't hold anything back. You know, sometimes the heroes don't win. You know.
I mean, if you want to feel better, Max Diggs was, what would we say, 2/3 of a lap away from lapping E2 in bronze.
Yeah.
And now he's still in the pit. All he had to do was just kind of cruise around the track and finish the race.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
People are pushing themselves to the maximum. It could be that Max. And I think Max is in chat right now talking to us. It could be that Max was just trying to push things up to the. You yelled my safe word. I yelled my safe word to the mountain. It was not forgiving. Okay.
Well, so yeah, that's Michael Lukey.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Lukey, we had hoped that during qualifying, because it was dry. I know that you were saying that you hated this track in the wet, and we saw it was dry in qualifying. I was like, man, Lukey's got to be happy. And then we went to the race, and here we are, greasy again. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
So I think our race leader is about to clock in lap number 40 with 6.5 minutes left in this race. 26 degrees ambient temperature with wet conditions.
Oh, as we flip by, Joey Melitti has looped it.
Oh no. Into the cutting. That is unfortunate. There goes Ryan Cody. He's going to bonk the wall to get straightened out. He might be able to get it going up the hill, hopefully, before another car catches him.
Oh, that was for position with Joey, or with Ryan. I was going to say he's still on the podium, but I think once the timing updates, Ryan will be ahead? Question mark?
In terms of lap counts, they were on the same lap. So yeah, I think that might be, or actually that might have been him unlapping himself to get on lap 36.
We'll find out.
We'll have to wait for them to cross the timing line. But there is the VSRC GTR, Vulcan Bakkerton, a man in another universe right now, traveling through space and time to win the 90 minutes of Bathurst.
He's about to lap P8.
Yeah, he's probably already won the race. Like, he's got some sort of like physics trick where he's bent space and time and he's already won the race, and he's actually watching us watch the race where he wins.
Well, he's like
from the future.
Isn't he like a math or science professor or something like that at a college?
He is a mathematics professor. Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's probably figured out how to travel through time already with some sort of mathematical equation.
Yep. We just can't.
And,
you just can't share the secrets with the world because it would be too dangerous. Like, it's all in the wrong hands, and then you know what? I mean, bad things start to happen.
We're all just living in Vulcan or in Vulcan's past.
Bullet says B is convinced he's just chilling on a couch driving. This is so relaxed.
Yeah. I mean, exclamation point Vulcan, I believe in chat will take you to his channel.
Do you want to go watch a legend drive around in the GTR in the wet around the mountain?
Yeah, there we go.
Joey Melitti
in
Death Race Esports McLaren.
Yeah, so Ryan Cody, that was an overtake on Joey when Joey had that incident.
It was an overtake, but it does not look like it. Oh no, it did affect position. I finally just saw the change on my end.
Yeah, so Ryan back up to podium in bronze.
So Vulcan needs to navigate this traffic as carefully as possible because he does have a really good buffer to big, but you know, we've seen mistakes on the mountain cost people races.
Yeah, Artem got dangerously close to the wall there, and
I know.
All it takes is one misstep.
I know, and then that's the race leader in there too. So
yeah.
And the thing is, there's really no good place for Artem to let Vulcan through.
Nope, you just gotta run your line.
He could maybe have lifted right before Skyline, but that would have been dangerous because we don't know what Joey, how Joey would have reacted. So.
Well, and also if you can't communicate that and you just lift off, and all of a sudden you have a massive change in speed, and the guy behind you just plows into the back end of your car. Vulcan give him a little bit of a flash, hoping maybe going through the chase.
Yeah, it's the problem is that the Audi is just so fast in a straight line that I wonder if the GTR is going to be struggling to catch up.
Look at the size difference in the cars.
Yeah, the GTR is a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, a little bit older.
Still a cool car though.
Yeah, he's really trying to find his way around Artem.
Yeah, I think Artem's going to break early.
Break early into Murray's corner.
Oh, and almost lose it in the background.
Yeah, he kept it together. He kept it together though. Big booty Gojira. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Artem currently sitting third in silver. On pace to get a nice podium.
I'm thinking so Vulcan's going to come around, and we're still going to get one more lap
And
before the end of this race.
I mean, technically, he could park
Yeah, he could park
and wait if you don't want to do an extra one. I think, yeah, he's got plenty of time because Carl is in turn 1 now.
Yeah, in terms of the pace figures, again, Bullet, I'm not seeing Ferris really make any kind of moves. Brian Curzon, the wet weather legend, continuing to lap around slower than most of the field, just by sheer ability of not bottling it anywhere.
Yeah.
In the lead of bronze in P11 in the overall right
Well,
now.
David Miller just exited Forest Elbow, and Brian is now going up the mountain. So that's the difference between P1 and P2.
Mr. Consistent, absolutely. Tip of the hat to Brian. Just putting on a show for everybody who's like, you want to drive the mountain and you don't want to have any drama. This is the way that you do it. Regan in the pits. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Wonder if there was some contact involved there. Diggs is still in the pits.
Yeah, I think Diggs is
punched
just
out.
stayed. Regan's car, did he miss his fuel? Because that's a lap of fuel.
Oh no.
Because yeah, he's rolling again. That seemed like a short pit stop.
No, Regan, no.
That's
Don't do this. All right, Dave Miller now going into Hell Corner in the Falcon. Oh no, that's not the Falcon Punt Racing. That's
Spicy Voxel Racing.
Spicy
in the
Voxel
Porsche.
Racing.
The leader is on the final lap. Give it a final
Yep,
push.
final lap for the race leader.
He's there somewhere. There he is.
Going into Hell Corner now. On Easy Street, cruising.
Survive one more lap. Time expires.
Yep, 7:35 p.m. on track. The race is over in terms of time. We've still got the final lap for them to finish. Oh, big drift in Corey there for Vulcan Bockerton. Don't lose it now, bud. He's just been cruising.
I think even if he did have like a half spin or maybe even a full spin, I think he has enough time to let traffic pass and get the car turned around.
Oh man, he is really pushing.
He is not driving down the middle of the track like I would be.
He's pushing. And
He's still touching curbs and throwing sparks.
So, quick shout out to Mr. B for that pole position lap, though, because really had us thinking that this was going to be a bit of a barrel knuckle brawl for 90 minutes in Mount Panorama, but it was not to be. But Carl Big, 33 seconds back from Vulcan, well in front of Dave Funk.
Well, yeah, and Carl also driving a car that he has not really gotten along with at all this season. But
Race leader going through the chase right now.
In his quest to drive them all.
In his quest for drive them all, that's another 6 or 7 seasons of the Pint?
He's done quite a few. I don't know which ones he still has left. Oh, look at Ryan Cody's gonna pull over and let Vulcan cross. Ryan does not want to do an extra lap. So Vulcan is your winner.
Vulcan Bockerton taking the win. Ryan Cody comes across the line. Third in bronze category. The Fedgoni Industries Lexus. Artem's going to cross the line in 8th.
Joey, I'm not sure why he was stopping there, but...
Oh, I think he was just rolling it.
Yeah.
Because he checkered. Oh, he just spits it into the grass.
Yeah. Here comes Carl across the line for P2. He would be followed by Nick Kohout. Nick's going to finish P9.
Did the all-white RCF drop? I think so.
Yeah, Joby did.
Savage had such a massive stunt.
Here comes Brian Curzon through the final of Mr. Wet Tires himself.
Man, I'm telling you, this man Red car, red tires, red everything. He's just doing it all.
Followed by David Funk. David's going to pick up P3. Ferris in 4th. This is painful trying to click through. Jorgensen and Robeson are going to battle each other to the line.
Jixer's not gonna let. Jixer's
Oh,
just
no.
not gonna hand anybody nothing. Like, absolutely not. You're gonna have to claw that out of his cold, dead hands.
So Jorgensen P5 in gold. Mark Robeson, who finished behind him, there he is.
Top silver.
Gonna be your silver winner. I hate this clicking through.
It's bad.
There he is. There's Luis.
So if you actually escape and go to return to garage, you can actually click on the list on the left and select them.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to do it from like the actual like whatever.
Everybody's crossed the line. We're good.
Yeah.
That is the session. So round 6 in the books. Series 10 of the Pint, Chris.
It's been a good season.
There's the donuts.
I mean, I know we had some attendance drop off and stuff like that, which is to be expected. But really good racing for the cars that we did have. Lots of good close action. I've had a lot of fun watching it. That's for sure.
It's been a lot of fun to watch it along with you and with everybody at home. I got to call 3 races in this series, which was a lot of fun. So
that's a lot. We're gonna have to tone that down a little bit.
Tone that down. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Those are rookie numbers. We're gonna go for like 10 next season.
10 next season? That sounds like a plan.
Next season.
That sounds like a plan, man. Thanks to everybody in chat for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun.
We will
looking forward to get to do more of these.
Yeah, we'll have some one-offs and stuff going on. We still have our Monday races that Ryan and Joey and I broadcast. And then Pint 2023 Season 1, January 8th. We will be back.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it, man.
You can't get rid of us, so we're like a rash.
All right, man.
You got anything else? Anything else you want to plug before we go?
Oh, no. Well, let me think. So more NA racing coming up later. I believe what is it?
Exclamation point Trackalicious.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go take a look real quick while we're closing this thing out to see if they have another race today or not. Their series might have ended as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the holiday season.
Yeah.
Like we did a shorter final season this time because of Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking at 10 round seasons next year, 2 drop rounds to keep people in it. And Luis and Ferris are doing donuts in the pit lane as per usual.
As one should.
Oh yeah.
As one should. Yeah. So looks like they're in an off week. They have Brands Hatch Endurance coming up December 4th. And then their series finale is the Watkins Glen doubleheader on December 11th. Be sure and give those guys a look-see because there's some pretty good dudes. But yeah, doing the stuff with New World, man, this has been a great time, Chris. Thanks to you and the New World guys for letting me come in to the booth and have some fun. That's all I got.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. We will do. Let's go say hi to Mr. Carl, Mr. Blackout. If you're not already following Carl, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Stop. Get some help.
Yeah, get some help. But on behalf of everybody at New World Sim Racing, the admins, the drivers, the commentators, thanks for hanging out. And we will see you next time.
See you later, everybody.